guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I created this makeup look right here, and I love it. This to me is the perfect look for your neutral girl that wants a pop of color. It is so pretty. The beautiful blue liner that we have going on just really brings the look to a whole nother level. Of course, you guys can change it to whatever color you want. You can do pink, you can do purple, you can do yellow. But for today's look, I wanted to do some blue. I feel like the blue just looks so beautiful. It's stunning. I cannot wait to show you guys how I created this look today. I did use my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, which is this palette right here. This palette is so versatile, you guys. It is amazing. It's a makeup artist's dream palette. Like, it is so good. Even for your average everyday girl, if you are a makeup artist, I feel like everyone can get use out of that palette. It is so good. You can do super dramatic looks, everyday looks like today's look. It is so good. I love it so much. And then for liner, of course, we're using the Made by Mitchell Graph Ink liners. This one specifically is in the shade Bubbles. Now, these liners are the best liners I've ever tried, especially when it comes to doing graphic liner. I have not had any issues whatsoever, no cracking, nothing. It is so good and it is so opaque, you guys. The color payoff of this is phenomenal. I do layer it, so I'll apply one layer, let it dry down, and then apply a second coat on top, and it works phenomenal. It is so easy to use, and I highly recommend, if you don't have them yet, to pick them up. So far, I've tried the blue, I've tried the chartreuse, I've tried the pink. I've pretty much tried all of them. I think the pink was the only one that has given me an issue, but every other color is chef's kiss. They are phenomenal and I love them so much. So this is the eye look we're going to be doing today. I did not show you guys the lips, of course, because I feel like once I finish the face makeup and I finish the eyes, the video is just so long at that point. So of course the lip combo is going to be down below in the description box, but I did want to quickly mention the gloss that I used today. Here it is. This right here is the Dose of Colors gloss in Can You Not. You guys, this gloss is phenomenal. It is the perfect nude gloss. If you have not tried it before, you need to. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you guys because it is so beautiful. It's a very pigmented gloss. So here's what the color looks like right here. It is legit the perfect nude. It is so beautiful, and it also has such a beautiful high shine. It's obviously what I'm wearing on my lips today, and of course everything else that I'm wearing on my lips I will go ahead and leave down below. So I'm super excited for today's look. I hope you guys are too. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's video. Before we jump in, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys have not already. And of course, without further ado, you guys would like to see how I created this really beautiful neutral yet pop of color little graphic liner moment, then just keep on watching. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started with today's look. So here is one eye completed. Now we're gonna do the other eye. So I'm gonna be starting off with my P.LOUISE base in the shade Rumor 2.5. Nothing new. You guys know I love this base. It is absolutely amazing, and I don't do any eyeshadow look without using this base because I really do feel like it makes a difference in my eyeshadow. So I like to apply it and then go ahead and blend it out with a buffing brush. For eyeshadow today, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. So I first went in with the dark brown, which you guys will see in a second. I didn't point to it. I don't know why. I must have just forgot. But I took that dark brown shade and added it to my crease, just following the natural shape of my crease. And then towards the outer corner, of course, I went ahead and winged it out. Then I'm going to go into this beautiful brown shade right here, and I'm going to take it on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm basically just going to use that color to diffuse that dark brown that we laid down first. Now, you definitely want to take your time with this because you're using neutrals, so I'm basically just going back in with the darkest shade and the lightest shade just to make sure everything is really nice and blended and really create that shape that I'm going for. So to build intensity, I'm going to go in with the black eyeshadow in the palette, and I'm going to take a small precise blending brush, and I'm just going to go in and pack that into the socket of my eye and not dragging it up too high because you do not want this black to go up too high. And then of course I'm going to go back in with my blending brush just to make sure everything is nice and blended. So now what I'm going to do is cut my crease because I'm pretty happy with my blend. So I went ahead and cut my crease off camera, but now I'm just going ahead and perfecting it, taking a little bit of micellar water to create that shape. And then I did use some blank canvas just to fill in that area. Sorry for the noise, you guys. There's a whole bunch of trucks passing by. But you do want to go in with the brush and make sure that you really blend out that base, because once it dries down, it's not going to budge. So make sure it is nice and beautifully blended, and you should have something like this. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here from the palette as well, and I'm just going to use this with a packing brush just to set that blank canvas in place, because I don't want to take away from that skin tone color. That's the color that we're going for. So I'm just basically setting it down so it's no longer tacky. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of tape, and listen, tape is your best friend when it comes to makeup, okay? This is going to help us create that really nice sharp line. So I'm going to go in with that dark brown, which by the way, that is the dark brown that I used when I started off the look in the beginning of the video. So I'm going to go in with that shade and just rub that basically against the tape. Then I'm also going to go in with this brown right over here, and I'm going to use that to start to diffuse that darker brown. Again, you're just going back and forth with each shade to make sure everything is nice and intense. And of course, the darker the shade, the closer you're going to stay to the lash line, and then the lighter the shade is going to help to kind of just diffuse everything. So now I'm going to go in with the black eyeshadow, because now we can go in and add that intensity. So I'm keeping the black eyeshadow very close to the tape, as you guys can see. And then of course, the satisfying part is peeling off the tape, and you just want to perfect. So I'm just going in with some concealer just to perfect that line. And you guys can see I stopped that wing a little bit shorter than I did with the actual cut crease part, just because we're going to be adding that blue line. So you definitely need space between the two. So now what I'm going to do is add some gel liner. I'm going in, this is actually a brow brush from Anastasia, which of course, as always, the brush will be on the screen, but the gel liner that I'm using is the INGLOT gel liner in number 77. It is such a bomb eyeliner. I just rediscovered it, and it is so good, but I feel like I can't get a really great precise line with the brush that I have. So the way I like to perfect my liner is to go in with a liquid liner after applying my gel liner. And this liner right here is from Cara Beauty. I do have a discount code with them if you guys are interested, but it is a really amazing felt tip liner that is so precise, and it's super pigmented, and it never dries out, so it does not drag or skip on the eye, which is amazing. So then I went back in with some concealer to just perfect that liner. And now for the fun part, this is the Made by Mitchell Graph Ink liner in the shade Bubbles. Now this part is tedious. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you guys that this is not something that you have to practice. You definitely do, but let me give you some tips. So tip number one is work in small strokes, and also work in small sections. You're gonna have so much more control over your liner doing it this way, rather than trying to just make one swipe from the inner part of the crease to the outer part of the crease. That is gonna be super difficult, and if you make a mistake at this point, it's gonna be extremely hard to fix. So I'm basically working in sections. So I got a little bit tired doing the crease work, so I was like, okay, let me do the wing. So basically I'm just underlining my black wing that I did. It should look something like this, and then I was like, okay, let me take a break from there, and I moved back into doing the liner work in the crease itself. So I kind of jump back and forth between the two. It kind of just gives my hand a little rest from each section, if that makes sense. So now to do that really cute little connected blue liner and have like the black liner inside of it, I basically just connected it to the outer part of the wing that I created. And then you guys can see the shape was a little bit off, so I just took a makeup wipe and just cleaned up and kind of basically completely removed that wing, and then I'm recreating it just in that shape that I want. So just keep in mind that you can really play around with this because there's no shadow on the outer part of the liner. And then I just went back in and just perfected everything. So definitely take your time. I did also go back in with my black liner just to perfect it and make sure everything was really nice and precise. You all already know your girl over here is a perfectionist, and I want it as perfect as I can possibly get it. So after that, I did go in and just curl my lashes. I added a coat of the Rare Beauty mascara, and then I went in with the Lava Lashes in Angelic. I did apply my lashes off camera, so let's go ahead and move on to the face makeup. So for primer today, I'm going in with the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this product. It's so good, and I just love the glow that it gives my skin. It's just amazing, and I've been obsessed with it. And then for foundation, I'm going in with the Lawless Conceal the Deal foundation. I've had this in my collection for a while, but the first time I purchased it, I purchased a shade that was too dark. And then the second time around, I purchased a shade that was too light. So I was already over it, so I decided, hey, let's just mix the two. And so that's what I did for today's video, and the color looks pretty good. I feel like now I can probably use the darker one on its own because this did look a little bit light, but no worries. I did go ahead and fix it with my cream bronzer. This right here is the Rare Beauty bronzing stick in the shade Happy Soul. It is so beautiful and has such an amazing formula. It is so creamy and so blendable. It's amazing. I've been obsessed with it. And then another product I've been loving is the JACLYN Hill Cosmetics concealer. I use mine in the shade Light Medium Neutral. I feel like you either love this concealer or you hate it. I am someone who loves it. I think it's an amazing concealer if you work in sections, which you guys can see I'm doing here. So I apply it on one eye, and then I apply it on the other eye, and so on and so forth, because this does dry down very, very quickly. So definitely keep that in mind. But if you use it the way I'm using it, I feel like you would like it. It has really great coverage. So I'm actually going to be trying out a new powder today. This is the new Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom Powder, and honey, she is pink. Okay, she's about as pink as my nails. So I decided to try it out in today's video, and I applied the concealer and just set it right away with this powder, and it wasn't terrible. But I will say that I don't know if I used too much. I did see a little pink hue underneath my eye, which just was not for me. But I decided, you know what, before I judge it, let me just do this one eye, and then let me go in on the other side with my Collab Set the Stage powder, which is the powder that I use all the time. And I just love the way that powder gives me a really nice brightening effect. So that's exactly what I did. So I went back in with my JACLYN Hill concealer, of course, and then I decided to go in with the Collab powder. I don't know, you guys. I feel like I think I need to use the Huda Beauty powder over top once everything is already done. My makeup is set and everything, because you guys can see here, my Collab powder gives me just a little bit more brightness. It looks more bright, it looks more fresh, and the Huda Beauty was just a little dull. So it was already done. I was not going to take off my foundation at this point, so I just added some more of that Collab powder over top of that Huda Beauty powder. And to be honest, that was not the way to go, but it was what it was. At that point, I was like, listen, I'm not going to take off this whole base makeup to do it all over again. So now for bronzer, I'm going in with my MAC Dark Tan bronzer. And then for blush, I'm going in with the MAC Melba blush. And this blush is so pretty. I cannot get over how stunning it is. It's so beautiful. Today was the first day I didn't use a cream blush underneath, so I felt like my blush was a little lackluster, but we still went with it. So for highlight today, I wanted to try out this highlighter right here. It's from JACLYN Hill Cosmetics. This is her putty highlight. I've had this in my collection for a while and have not used it. So I was like, okay, let's use this. I've seen people use it and it looks bomb. But where's the glow? That was my question. I was like, is it just me? I even decided, okay, let me put the brush down. Maybe because it's a putty highlight, let me try to apply this with my finger. And I was still not seeing it. And I feel like it made my cheek look so textured. So I don't know, it could be a lot of things. I used the new foundation today. I used the new powder. So I don't know, I'm gonna give it another shot. But for today's video, it was a no for me. So let's go ahead and jump back in to the lower lashes. I'm going to be using the dark brown shade on a flat definer brush, and I'm just going to pack this super close to my lower lash line. I decided to keep my lower lash line very simple for today's look because I really wanted the star of the show to be that blue liner. So now I'm going to take this lighter brown and I'm going to take it on a small blending brush and just use that shade to kind of diffuse that dark brown. Very, very simple and very minimal. And then I'm just going to go in with the Too Faced Killer Liner in Killer Cashmere. This is my favorite nude waterline pencil. If you know, you know. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it, definitely pick it up. I purchased mine at Ulta. And then after this, I just went in and did my inner corner little cat eye flick. Now, I tried to get this on camera, but when I tell you guys that it was so difficult, okay, cut me some slack. At least I got the eyeliner for today's video on camera, but the inner corner, I just could not do it. So I went off camera and just completed the inner corner, added the black and then added the blue just to kind of tie everything together. And then now I'm going to go in with that Rare Beauty mascara and just apply it to my lower lashes. I usually use my MAC mascara, as you guys know if you watch my videos, but I forgot to take it out and I was super lazy to get it, so I decided to go in with the Rare Beauty one and it worked just fine. To set everything in place, I decided to go in with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Mist, and I was like, let's take it back and just spray it on my face. But then I did end up going in with my beauty blender just to press it in. I feel like this method, it just works so well. And that basically completed today's look. Like I said, the lip combo will be down below in the description box. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.